G'day all, Adam Wuiske here from Wuiske Models, again for part 8 of the layout that Insanity built. As you can see, I have been covered from head to toe in sawdust today, because I've been plodding away. But let's see what I've been up to. So, first and foremost, I am standing, I'll show you on the little map where I am right now. I am at the curve that goes from Petri all the way around on the other side down to Kabulcha, so the second peninsula. And as you can see, first of all, there's headboards above me and there's track in front of me. None of this was here in the last video. So that's another 200 feet or something of track and a heap more headboards. So we're actually getting ready for lighting in this one. So it's all moving along quite a lot. I've even placed the Walthers kits I've got prepared for the Australian paper mill in position so that when I get some time, I can start playing around and seeing how they're going to be juggled in. So as you can see from behind me, there's the track. Kabulcha's way down there. I'll show you on the little map where I'm at. And none of this was here a couple of weeks ago. So I have actually taken some notes because people have been asking. So currently, right now, as the layout stands, there is 221 lengths of flex track, which equates to 663 feet or 202 meters of track. Now, that's a quarter of the main line is now done, which is sort of, it's a quarter of the main line, but it's actually half of the suburban continuous run. So, which is double track, and about 40% of it is going to be triple. So, on top of that, we've also got, thus far, 61 sets of points in and 1 double slip. Rightio, it's getting up there. So, effectively now, the big thing I really need to start concentrating on is getting these lights sorted, because the more backdrop I get in now, it's going to get darker and darker in these aisles. But as I've said to you in the last video, what I'm primarily focusing on at the moment is getting the double track mainline continuous loop for the suburban run, getting that done. So I'm getting pretty close. I'm about halfway through, which doesn't, now I think of it, sound like I'm pretty close, but it feels like I am. So that's the main thing. So if you can see right beside me, you've got the main line heading north to my left. That's going towards Kabulcha. So right where the camera is, that's going to be Morayfield Station. And for those of you familiar with the north side of Brisbane, this area here is a floodplain. So it'll be basically fairly flat, fairly boring scenery with slight elevation in the track. And this area here is actually a 60-foot long 1 in 100 gradient going downhill towards Kabulcha. Now the reason for that is because behind the camera, we go round the curve, once you get to the other side of Morayfield, into Petri, and that gives us the elevation that we need to cross over the main line coming through from Kabulcha back to Turbot Street. So here I am at Kabulcha. Now, right in front of where the camera is, over those points, will be an overhead road bridge going in, just like in the prototype. Now, the variation I've got to do for here is that we'll have 3 platforms. So platform 1 will be right here with the brick structure for Kabulcha Station, and then you'll have platforms 2 and 3 here. Now, the way it works is with the crossover, and then the way I've laid it out is so that these 2 roads here will be your continuous suburban run. So they will disappear down and then veer to the right under a highway overpass, and then reappear 20 feet that way at Turbot Street. And that's the suburban continuous run. Now, this line here, platform 1, will actually go through and veer off to the left for the rest of the layout, for heading north. So this basically marks the halfway point of the entire layout for the main line. Now, the way I've done this in real life, Kabulcha Yard, there is actually 2 yards in it. There's one on the northern end, on this side, which is where they stow suburban sets overnight and weekends, that sort of thing. And it's where the Wuiske branch used to veer off. On the eastern side of the station, there was actually a yard there with a turntable and everything else. Now, for access, because you are going to have trains coming through here, running autonomously, so I don't want to interfere with that. So it's just going to be one of those things that it's actually worked out from a perspective of actually operating around that. It was better not to have this yard here. So that yard will serve a purpose, but it'll actually be located here. So the equivalent of the northwestern corner of Kabulcha. And that's where we're going to put that yard. That's also where the Wuiske branch veers off and then runs underneath another peninsula and then runs along the wall all the way down. So that's where we're going with this. So here I am at Petri, or my version of Petri. Be fair, it doesn't actually look much like Petri, and it's not going to, but it serves the role of Petri. So these two roads here is your up and down North Coast main line. This is where the triple track North Coast line starts, or the Northern Relief Road, and that will run all the way from there down around here and then back to main yards. And so that will be your triple track line. From here forward and heading north, it's a double track main. This third road here is where the wood chip will be coming in to go to the Australian paper mill. Now, the Australian paper mill, the industry I'm modelling, is actually going to be pushing 20 feet long. It's not small. So this road here is where the coal will be coming in to power it. And then the next siding down that you may be able to see, that's where your paper products, your finished products, will be leaving and going out. So from there, they'll go to places like the 4X Brewery, the Golden Circle Cannery, and different places like that all around the layout. So every industry I've got has sympathetic industries so that it's a to and fro process. So everything serves a purpose. So from there, there is a fourth road further down. That's actually where cattle will be unloaded for the abattoirs. Now that passing loop is set up to take a 35-car cattle train. Now, as you look around this layout, you may actually see a bunch of cans. So rattle cans for paint and the small Tamiya ones through to cans of WD-40 and all sorts of other things. I think there's even some fly spray cans around here somewhere. Now, if you're wondering why, that's actually for holding the track down. So all the track, as I've said in the past, I've been buying 1 metre by 200 mil sheets of cork from eBay for 4/5 of bugger all. They're cheap, right? And I cut them to strips. I lay those. I just draw a line, run a bead of Acrid here or PVA glue, and then put the cork down, and then I weight it because it will always get a bit of a waviness or a curve to it. And then after that, I come back with the track and I lay that. Now, the process for laying it is I run a bead of PVA glue, which I then smooth out with a piece of cardboard, okay, just to break the bead so it's a flat surface. And then I put the track down, and then I just put cans on it. So that's it. So I'm now further down between the first and second peninsula, so there will be another station right here. No idea what I'm calling it, but it's a station. And then from here again, triple track, and about another 5 or 6 feet beyond me is where the cement works are going to start. So they were based in Darra on the western side of Brisbane, on the Ipswich line, but in my version of reality, they're going here. So again, that gives me the cement traffic, which will consume a lot of other things that it needs to have delivered, and then it will pump out cement. And then beyond that, we have the cannery. So the next step for me is to be cutting more yellow tongue and more 255mm risers and screwing them in as I go, and then to run around this curve. Now, it's still just under 20 feet from where I'm standing to the end. So, as you can see, there's been a hell of a lot done since the last video, but I've still got a hell of a long way to go. So, I'm effectively, as I've said, halfway through laying the track for the return loop for the suburban line, and then it's the rest of the North Coast line from there, so out of Brisbane. But I've still got that last bit of bench work that I mentioned in the previous video that's really annoying me. I'm very close to being able to put that in. And other than that, it's just rinse and repeat, more laying track, more cutting and laying cork, more cutting up yellow tongue to make the road bed, more cutting yellow tongue and all that sort of stuff for risers. It's a never-ending cycle. But I'm getting there, and I'm having a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So, yeah, it's keeping me going. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little update of the layout that Insanity built. And I've got to tell you, the more I do of this, the more insane it's getting. It's getting crazy. But, geez, it's fun. So, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this little update of where I'm at. If you do, feel free to like and subscribe and everything else. Put some comments in there, and, yeah, I'll happily answer them as I can. And, yeah, very, very happy to respond to those. And thank you very much for the support you guys have been showing. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. And so through the chats that we run on Friday nights and the brew and natter with the NMRA British guys and all the rest of that, I'm just having a ball. And it's just great to see guys getting involved with this and just giving their opinions, giving me ideas, and just really showing support for this project of insanity. So as I've said to you in the I think it was the last video, I really want to get this suburban continuous loop done by the end of the year. Well, right now it's like midnight on the 21st of June. So I've got a bit of time. But I honestly think at the rate I'm going, assuming there's no delays in getting more points and things like that, I could actually probably get it done by probably another 2 or 3 videos from now. It's actually getting close. So yeah, it's just the getting all the systems in place and everything else. But I'm really getting there. So once again, thank you very much. Feel free to like and subscribe, all the rest of that sort of garbage. And yeah, thanks very much for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, in the next video, I'll have a hell of a lot more done. So we shall see how we go.